be as little as 15 minutes. I mean, by the time it gets reported, we've got a heads up, we're suiting up, and by the time we're suited up and they're loading the airplane, we have a knee board and we're cranking. These are Air Tractor 802s. This one's my airplane, and carries 800 gallons, 375 gallons of fuel. So if I go full fuel and a full load, it gives me about 4.5 hours of flight time. We cruise at about 180 miles an hour true airspeed. Like yesterday, we went to a fire. It was 67 miles away, and I beat everything by 10 minutes, and that's an hour's drive away. So that's where they really shine. And then close, we're not like the heavies. We're going a little bit slower. We can fly lower, and that's the nice thing too with us. Even when we get away from initial attack and we start working project fires, is because we are so nimble and we're able to go in and closely support ground guys. Where a heavy, they take a lot more space up, and you got to clear the line for a long ways to get them in. So.
When you're dealing close support to a fire, you know, it's one thing to fly through smoke that's coming off the fire and visibility is poor, but when you're actually on the fire line, you try to avoid the actual column coming immediately off the fire. You can get into some serious turbulence, and it's about like a big gorilla grabbing you and want to throw you on your back sometimes. So you really want to avoid that. You want to get in close, and you want to support the fire line, whether it's direct, close to the fire edge, or indirect, a little off the fire edge. Try to avoid that immediate smoke and heat coming off, because you're not going to come out the window if you're not careful. And
the seats come on, and I inspect them. I inspect the seat. They go through an extensive inspection in Boise, but I have this little form that I fill out, and I walk around. Do a walk around on the seat. Do a walk around on the trailer. Everything, the pilot signs it, I sign it, and then I take a copy of the pilot's card and put it in the book, and we start the book, and then we call dispatch every morning, tell them we're in service. And like Danny and Jody are off on Mondays, Bill is off on Sundays, so I just have to remind them, okay, we have one seat on today, or we're down to two, or whatever. And then I'm really good friends with the aircraft dispatcher, and if there's a possibility that we're going to fly, she'll send me a text, hey, and so we're ready, everybody, because it takes a while to get everything together. I mean, the loaders will go out and start recircling, so it's a nice, good load. The pilots are waiting, they will get a knee board. This is our knee board. And this will have the lat haul that they're flying to, the dispatch number. If we know a descriptive location is Sakina States, this was when they flew yesterday. And they've got to have their frequencies here. This is the local flight following. This is how the pilots talk to dispatch. And this is a command frequency that the ground folks are going to talk on. And then there's an air-to-air frequency that all the air resources talk to each other. And then this is an air-to-ground, where if my pilot comes over and he'll try and get a hold of someone on the ground. This time he was getting to get a hold of engine 633. And then, because it looks different from the air, and the ground folks want to know what it looks like from up there too. You know, what are we heading into? Is there any structures in the air or whatever? So they're conversing back and forth.
You're taking so many different factors, and it's experience. Danny has been doing this more years than I've been flying. This is my third season, and he can look at a situation and have a pretty good analysis of which way the hill's going, the slope is going, which way the winds are blowing. A big fire will create its own wind, and you're looking at the smoke and your terrain, and it's not 100%. It's we're almost meteorologists, I'd say. But
there's some Kentucky windage that plays into it. But as far as avoiding firefighters, A, you need to do a visual run over it first. B, if you got aerial support talking to you, make sure that he clears the line for you. And he's talking to the guy on the ground, the IC, so you've got three there working for you. But granted, sometimes not everybody's talking to everybody, and it's unfortunate, and you don't see them, and it does happen that sometimes you make a run and there's someone there, but you do your best to avoid that.
And we don't. It's not like Always or these movies where when it hits them, it's gonna blow them over and send people flying. The idea behind what we do is we're raining retardant down on the fire, or where the target area is. So we're at enough height so that it really doesn't have forward momentum. So the guys, if guys are on the ground and they get it, it's more like taking a shower in retardant. It's not a wall that's going to blow you over and hurt you.
On scene, and the seat comes in to do a drop, they've got to clear the line. And if the seat can't talk to someone on the ground, and sometimes you can't see if it's really, I mean, I've been painted a million times. That's all I knew about seats when I got into this, but
Damn pilots.
I know, they just paint you all the time. But you've got to clear out of the way because it can be dangerous. Like if there's some kind of widowmaker hanging up and that retard comes in, it's going to knock it out of the trees, and so you got to clear the line.
You'll find a lot of seat pilots as well as heavy pilots that come out of the ag world environment, and but not all. And I've known some pilots personally that came from other arenas, but they were able to acquire the requirements times to do the job. But a lot of it is low-level experience and being willing to fly close to the ground, and that's one reason a lot of us come from that background. Well, I've been bouncing around the country somewhat already, and I haven't been here locally very long. But obviously, a lot of the fire activity is up here in the Northwest right now, the majority of it, and so they're having their fill of activity. But I thought they've done very well. Dispatch has done a great job. The ground crews, I've talked to a few of them here at restaurants locally and so forth. And they're just on call, ready to jump. And doing the best they can and doing a fine job. And same here, we're just waiting for the call to load up and go and do what we can. And I've been fairly happy with the fact that we've been on several fires together lately, and I like to see success, and we've been fortunate in that respect. Now granted, you don't catch them all, but it's always good to see success and keep them small. Well, the main thing is keep it small. That's the whole idea. If it's hot, dry, and windy, it's off to the races. But and then all you can do sometimes is just try to hurt it, and catch it. But it's important for quick response in those respects. But without the ground guy, it's not going to get done. I don't care how much mud you throw at it. Sometimes you just don't stop it. You got to have that ground support. We're just their tool.
We're support.
Yeah. They're their support. They're always happy that we're there, but the bottom line is we're glad they're there.